church which is fully involved in our shared apostolic mission to extend the kingdom of God globally through the recovery of New Testament church life, making disciples, training leaders, and planting churches by all means, including wholehearted financial commitment, welcoming translocal ministries, regularly attending corporate gatherings, promoting our publications, and communicating our news.
I suppose that when some people think about joining a group of churches and becoming affiliated with a certain group of churches, that means you get to benefit from those resources that they have and perhaps participate in various things that they do, put their name on your stuff and kind of, oh, now we're part of that. Is it like that to join New Frontiers, that you can kind of send off an application form? We'd like to be a New Frontiers church. We'll take the logo, stick it on our stuff, and now we're New Frontiers? Or is that missing the heart of what's going on in the movement?
I think that most churches that are becoming part of the growing New Frontiers family these days are new churches that we ourselves are planting. They then independently become part of what we are together. There are still those who are thinking, hey, perhaps we could join New Frontiers. And I think that's a good question, because sometimes that can have a wrong connotation, because it can be, well, this seems to be a flourishing group, it'd be good to get on their list and so on. And in that case, you can really miss the point pretty seriously. And ever since we took on a name, which in some ways you have to have a name, you can't exist without a name in the modern world, you create a problem, because it's not a biblical concept to have a group of churches that have a name. What you do have in the Bible is a group of churches that will work with an apostolic leader. And so we would talk about a sphere related to an apostle, or an apostle and his team. And that's how we got started. What New Frontiers became, a number of churches that Terry Virgo was working with, and the growing team that I was working with, serving these various churches, and them getting involved with us as we began to go out to India, to Africa, into Europe. I think they understood, hey, we're part of something on the move. And I think it's very important for every local church to feel part of an apostolic, world-reaching movement. That's what we are. We're not meant to be simply static. There's a list, you get your name on the list, oh great, we now belong, relax. That's to miss the point pretty seriously. We're meant to be on a mission, missional churches in their location, collectively penetrating new nations, breaking through into new cultures, and we need to all be involved for that. And in the Bible days, Paul would have churches, most of which he himself had planted, or guys with him, like Epaphras and so on, had planted. They were within that group, and they would support Paul as he went. So the Philippians, for instance, supported him financially in what he was doing. So as we got established, by the time we formed ourselves as New Frontiers, there were already maybe 20 or 30 churches working with me, in terms of I had helped to plant them or transform them, some of them initially small house churches. And then we said, right, we're on mission. And when we started up, we said, well, here are a number of things we do together, and one of them was financial involvement. And so we talked about it, and we said, well, let's go for a tithe, which was pretty straightforward, and something that a lot of church denominations already did. And until this day, certainly for us in Brighton, we will put 1/10 of our income into the pot. And a number of churches have always done that from the beginning. Some have not. Some have done various different degrees of commitment. And then, of course, when we've had the Brighton conference, there's another opportunity that used to be at Stoneleigh and is now there for a big offering to help us in our apostolic extension to the ends of the earth.